Rap and Reason Podcast with Dr. Jeremy C. McCool and Earl Hopkins. All right, we are back with another episode of Rap and Reason Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Dr. Jeremy C. McCool.
And I'm Earl Hopkins. What's going down, man?
Man, how you feeling, bro?
Feeling good, bro. Long week, man, at work. But just grinding it out as always, per usual, man. What's going on with you?
Man, same here, bro. Working. Man, I have some announcements soon coming out about a documentary I'm executive producing, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
About educators. Yeah, it's a dope short film, man. I'm excited about that. And yeah, man. Other than that, just working, man. I get to get a little preview of Netflix House this week.
Yes.
I'm excited about that too, man. This is not an ad, but it can be if Netflix hit us up. This is not an ad, but excited to check it out, man. I know you checking it out too, man. So we'll give y'all a rundown on how that goes too.
100%, man. I'll actually be at the press preview. You're actually going to be there literally today of the day of recording, bro, for an additional friends and family. So you have even better access than I do, bro, in my
Bro,
publication.
but
Crazy.
this is once in that never happens. You always got the free access. This is shout out to one of my students, honestly, because he works at one of my former students actually is working at Netflix House. So yeah, he added me onto that family and friends list. I'm excited. And it's serious, man. They talking about NDAs. You got to turn your phones in. It's a whole thing. So yeah, I'm excited about it though, bro.
Yeah, man, as you should be, bro. So yeah, a lot of big things.
Finally get some professor perks around here.
Finally, man. You know what I mean? Like, So yeah, man. Solid, solid. So what's on the agenda today, man, with episode 66, bro?
Bro, we got a lot of things to get into, man. We got Vlad and Joyner Lucas beef and
Crazy,
lawsuits.
crazy.
Nasty work. J. Cole being sued by Cameron. We'll talk about that a little bit.
Mm,
25th anniversary of Stankonia.
classic.
Uh, yeah, classic. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We got NLE and Young Boy. We might touch on that a little bit. A little back and forth. Well, it's only on one side so far, but we might touch on that a little bit. Big L album review.
Huge.
Kodak Black album review. And then
Interesting.
interesting is right. We'll have some things to talk about there too. So man, yeah, we got a jam-packed schedule to get into, man. Let's start off with lawsuits, which is kind of
Let's,
crazy.
which is crazy. I thought we was over lawsuits. I thought lawsuits wasn't popping anymore. Like
Yo,
it's
I
crazy.
thought I thought after Drake lost, we would, the hip hop lawsuits would have ceased, but they have not, man. And there's a media personality slash cornball named Vlad,
Mm-hmm.
who
Perpetual
has
cornball. Yeah.
perpetual cornball, who has done a lot of questionable things in his media career. But for those who are not familiar, Vlad TV is a platform that has a large YouTube following. They do a lot of interviews. They interview some interesting people, to be fair. He has a lot of different um, interviews from older hip hop acts, younger hip hop acts, criminals, like, you know what I mean? It's all over the place.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a,
who,
it's a
who have
mixed bag.
nothing to do with hip hop at all. Um, yeah, so interesting platform. Um, but recently, it has come out that Vlad is actually suing Joyner Lucas for sharing one of his a clip from one of his interviews with Ari Spears and not including his name in the post. So he ended up sharing it on, I want to say it was on Twitter,
Mm.
without, I guess, crediting him as it being his content, and he's suing for it. And that's not the interesting part, though. The
Mhm.
interesting part of this is he reached out to Joyner Lucas before suing and said, "Hey, if you come in and interview with me, I'll drop the lawsuit or I won't sue."
Terrible.
Terrible. So Joyner Lucas responded with some choice words. You know what I mean? I actually kind of want to. I actually kind of want to
Yeah.
read. I can't read. I mean, I'm gonna have to censor it, but I kind of want to read it to really give the audience a just due of his response. Dear Vlad, you can beep my beep. Um, Call your attorney and do whatever you have to do. I wasn't ever doing an interview with you before this lifetime, and you definitely not getting an interview now. So settle your legal matters however you want to settle them. Beep. I also thought you was a beep, and this just confirms the kind of beep you are. No way in this lifetime or the next will I ever allow someone like you to try to extort me out of an interview. You got me all the way beeped up. You know what I mean?
I understood every beat because I understand the frustration someone would feel if
Absolutely.
you're trying to sue me and to dissolve this lawsuit. You want to interview me. What
Bro,
type
like
of
like
weird game is you playing?
bro, and he used the right words by extort. Like how are you trying to extort an interview out of somebody? Like it's really crazy because even then, like what is the vibe of that interview gonna be like after I know I'm only here so you don't sue me? Like what is
Right.
the energy in that room gonna be like? Like
Exactly.
like it's insulting to think that I'm going to allow you to yeah, like extort me out of an interview.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be honest too. This is a critique on Vlad TV's whole entire platform. And admittedly, bro, I watched some of his platform or some of his videos because the subjects to me are that prominent, right? Like they're that interesting. But as far as like Vlad as an interviewer, as a media figure necessarily, he set himself up for stupidity like this himself. Like he set this up. He's the person that paid for interviews when in journalism, he considers himself a journalist, even though I wouldn't. And journalistically, that's ethically, that's like totally against what we do, right? Like you don't pay
Absolutely.
somebody for an interview. That's called
No,
payola. Like, you know what I mean? Like
absolutely.
that's backwards, right? Secondly, you're not going to bully someone to interview with your platform because that's I don't know what you call that other than being weird, right? So he put himself in this box for him to call out the Marlon Wayans for asking for a certain amount of money and percentage on revenue for the interviews that he's doing because you yourself have given other people money to spend some time with you because they otherwise would not be obliged to. You know what I'm saying? So he put this
That
on
was
himself.
yeah, the Marlon Wayne situation was one of the situations where I really was like, oh, he is a complete cornball. Like
Yes,
the
bro.
fact that for those who do not know, he reached out to Marlon Wayne's maybe about a year or two ago for
Mhm.
an interview, and Marlon Wayans gave him his number, his price
Yep.
of what it would take for him to interview with him, and it was a large number. And Vlad then went on a whole smear campaign of "You're not worth this amount. How dare you ask me for this?" and blah blah blah, blah and went through a back and forth with Marlon Wayans about that. It's like how can you tell somebody what their value is? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like if you don't want to pay it, then don't pay it and move on. When I agree with you, it's already immoral the fact that you're paying people for press interviews.
Yeah.
That's already skewed in
You're
the
right.
industry. So for you to then question people's numbers and try to out them based on what number they give you, it's just dirty all around the board.
All around. And the worst part was he was interviewing other people. I'm talking about like multiple people, and he would say the number. He's like, "Isn't this crazy?" So not only are you creating a smear campaign where you keep bringing this up yourself in various interviews that you having with people, but you're asking them to then smear Marlon Wayans, who within the comedy world, bro, within the entertainment world, he's a legend, bro. Say what you
I
want about the
lit-
number. Marlon Wayans is a notable name, and he's been a Hollywood
he's a
star
star.
since the 90s, bro. And before that, his whole family was recognized for comedy classics of the 80s, bro. So what are we doing right now?
Bro, this is somebody who was from comedy royalty. You know what I'm
Literally.
saying? Especially in the black community. Like this is comedy royalty. Like the Waynes family is responsible for so many careers. Shout out
Yeah.
Keenan Ivory Waynes, Alpha Phi Alpha member.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm
Genius.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, who really put his whole family in position to win. And they put on so many other comedians that you might not get. You might not get Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
You might not get a Jim Carrey. You might not get a lot of these other figures who came through in living color in these platforms without the Wayne's family. So
And
for you to have zero respect for that, for you to be a YouTube platform, it's just wild, bro. And
yeah.
like
Wow.
and I don't even have to mention that he's outside of the culture. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Doing who's profiting off of a lot of destructive behavior and federal like behavior with some of the questioning.
Yeah.
Already a problem. But when it comes to the fact that of you publicly ousting business conversations, it's just dirty.
And now you're at a point where you're trying to extort someone to spend an hour or two with you is a whole new
It's
low to
weird.
me, bro. It's weird. why would you think you would even get quality material or conversation from an interview that gets to that point, like, or happens in that way? I don't understand it, bro. But there's a lot of things about him that I simply just don't understand. It's like bewildering to me. But yeah, this is
Now,
insane.
do you think there are, and I know that these are very different circumstances, but do you think that there are any parallels between Cameron, Sue, and J. Cole?
I see it being a little different. Here's why. There's an actual exchange, right? Like, so if there is in fact a contract, which Cameron is implying that there is a contract between him and J. Cole,
Mm,
that if he did this song, which Cameron did, he did the song off of I Might Delete Later, which is one of my favorite
yep,
records actually on that project with him and
absolutely.
Cam. That Cole and Cam collab, I did not see coming, but I'm glad I heard it. But
Yeah, that
so it
Ready
sounds
was hard.
so it sounded like because he did that, and this is like commonplace within music, you know what I mean? Within entertainment, I do something for you, you do something for me. You know what I mean? So it sounds like that's what it was, and that
Hmm.
Cole did not fulfill his obligation. That's what Cam is implying or suggesting, right? Um, my
Now, did he say
question,
that there's a written contract?
I don't know if there's a written contract,
And to me,
but
that's the difference.
that's the
That
difference. Yeah,
to
if there is or not.
me,
You know what I mean?
if there is one, I think that that's very different than y'all just saying, "Oh yeah, man, I'll hop on your show one day." Like that's if it's written, then I agree. Then it's a
Yeah.
whole nother ball game.
Right, right. And so if it is, man, let me look it up in real time. That's why having a producer low key to be like, nah, Earl, you tripping. You know what I'm saying?
No, no, no.
Yeah.
I don't think Cameron has done a lot of speaking up about the specifics of it. So I don't even know
He's
if it's
been
out
really
there.
close-lipped on it for sure, or tight-lipped on it for whatever reason. I think I
Yeah, but I agree. If it was a written contract, and I know that even verbal contracts are legally binding, but
mm,
then it gets to a point where you have to prove that I said that.
exactly.
So that's an entirely different ball game. So I think that if they made some type of formal agreement of that, sure. I think that's a lot different than hey
Yeah,
man, yeah, no, don't worry about it, man. I'm gonna jump on your song, man. Just hop on my show one of these days. Oh yeah, for sure, I'll jump on one day. That's not
that's
formal. That
different.
means that could be tomorrow, that could be next year, that could be, you know what I mean,
And,
whenever.
and so that's the thing with me, right? If it's in a verbal agreement and you're saying he breached that verbal agreement, I don't know to what extent it's legally binding, but if there's no set timetable on that
That's the
agreed
thing.
thing, then what are we suing for? Like
Right.
I don't get that. Like that
That's the
that part I'm
timeline.
missing.
It's the
Yeah,
timeline piece. Like
yeah,
if because he doesn't have an album coming out. So it's like why, you know what I mean? Maybe he was gonna do it when his album comes out, during
right.
his album rollout or whenever. But if there's no timeline in place where, hey, if I do this song within the next 12 months, I need you to do this interview. That's a different agreement. And to be honest, what's in today's media climate, especially in the streaming world, right, that we're living in right now, in media and music, what's more valuable, a J. Cole interview or a Cameron feature?
Mm. J. Cole interview, 100%. I hate to say it, but yeah, right now in music, because Cam is a big figure just in culture. Like we already know that, you know what I mean? But between those two, if I had to pick, I'm going with a Cole interview
Who's my
because he's less visible and he's a bigger musical star at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, and the way that you can monetize a J. Cole interview
Yeah.
far exceeds whatever J. Cole was going to be able to make off of a Cameron feature. You know what I
And
mean?
let's just be real. Let's just be
And,
real.
and, and that's also being and not to say that, I mean, if they made the agreement, they made the agreement. You know what I
Right.
mean? But only time will tell if it was a formal agreement or not. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly. Because I
But
need to know
but
the extent of this verbal. What is like I need to know the extent of it. Obviously, we're not privy to that information right now. But $500,000, you suing him for something that he still would have done is kind of crazy to me. I don't I don't know. There's so much we don't know that we
yeah,
can't
we don't know because we
speak
don't know if
on.
it was
But
we don't know what that conversation was like. Did he ask J. Cole and J. Cole was like, "Nah, I ain't doing no interview with you at all." You know what I mean? And we
right.
completely renege on whatever the agreement was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know if Cameron just would have to. To me, Cameron got to prove that he's getting $500,000 for a feature in 2025, and I just don't.
Yeah. And I'm not even sure that song because he picked that number essentially because of what him and Cole's song potentially generated. But Did it generate 500? Like I also have questions in the
I would be shocked. I'm gonna be honest, because
yeah.
that's not even one of Cole's bigger albums. So
No,
for me to think that that one song on there generated $500,000, I would be
it's hard for
shocked by
me to
that.
believe that. Yeah, I'm
It,
wondering.
with in streaming,
Yeah.
with streaming numbers, I would be shocked. And then not only would the song have to have generated 500,000, that means Cameron's contributions were 500. So that means, you know, even if you did
Mm,
50-50, that means you telling me that song generated $1 million. I would be shocked by that.
completely. So yeah, man. And then the song is sample one of Cam's songs, right? Yeah, or a Dipset
It's
song.
a Dipset song, yeah.
I really
Oh,
mean it, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, man. There's so many things that we don't know that I want more clarification on. Shoot, man. Like, yeah. But until then, I would say as far as what we know, seem a little off center to me. But
yeah.
yeah.
Only time will tell. The more information we find out, and maybe they'll get it settled outside of the courtroom.
Hopefully, bro.
Hopefully,
And I've seen Cameron's videos in regards to the topic. It seemed like it's really not that pressing of an issue. I feel like they can like work some things out. You know what I mean? So hopefully that happens. Hopefully that happens.
100%, 100%. Man, what else we got to talk about today?
Stankonia 25th anniversary, bro. This is an album, pivotal album for Outkast.
Yeah,
Not necessarily my favorite album, but definitely a pivotal one, especially when we look at their transition to becoming a hip hop group, like a massive hip hop group, and then becoming a massive music group. That's what it seemed like for me. Stankonia really set the stage for them from an international standpoint. But from your view, man, like tell me what this 25th anniversary means, especially for an album of this quality, man.
yeah, man, absolutely. I would have. We've reviewed Stankonia on the show before, and how we felt about the project. But I think, man, I think it was one of their more transformative projects. It's not my favorite Outkast project. Well, it's one of them. I could debate it with myself. I have to really
Yeah.
give it some thought. Stankonia was my introduction to Outkast. You know what I mean? And then I went back and listened to Aquemini and AT
Yeah.
Aliens and all. But Stankonia was really my introduction to Outkast. And to me, man, it's I think they really pushed the boundaries sonically on Stankonia. I think it really set the tone
Mm,
for people to be way more experimental with hip hop. And
a 100%.
I think that's really the one of the things that I would really stamp Stankonia with, and why it's such a legendary project. I think that they were able to push the boundaries of what hip hop could sound like a lot further. And I think that Stankonia was really them getting more experimental with their music. I think that, AT Aliens, Aquemini, it definitely was experimental, but I think they took it a step further with Stankonia.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It doesn't sound like anything else. Like even when you hear like a song like a Bombs Over Baghdad, when you listen to that type of record, it just sounds, or even So Fresh and So Clean. Like these records sound. No wonder they're just mega songs that are
Yeah.
huge,
Huge.
but they also are just they sound completely different than everything else that was out at the time. Like they don't. Nobody else sounds like this. So
Exactly.
I think the Outcast was just really original, and I think Stankonia is to me, even if I don't, and like I said, I really got to sit down and think about if it's my favorite Outcast album, but to me, it's the most polished Outcast album, in my
Mm,
opinion.
yeah. The most fluid too to me. It's
Yeah,
polished, but it's fluid. Like Speaker Box Love Below is my favorite Outkast album because that was the
fair. That's
first
fair.
album for me that I recognized what Outkast was, right? I think I was like, when that come out? Like oh 03 or oh 02, maybe?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah,
Like
it was a few
something.
years after
So I
this
was a
one, I believe.
kid, you know what I mean? So like that was for me, like my dad would play that out in the backyard on his speakers and everything. And I was like, what is this? I don't know. Me as a kid, I'm like, yo, it's the hooks, it's everything, it's the beats that really drew me in. But to that point though, I think Stankonia was that step forward for them, that transformative album, as you say. I would almost compare it. It's a different era, different sound, but for me, what Low End Theory or Midnight Marauders was for a Tribe Called Quest, which is like, okay, we're taking things here though. Like we're taking,
Yeah,
oh, we gave you crumbs of what we can do, and Aquemini, these are like amazing albums themselves. This is
absolutely.
the extent of our powers, though. Like this is what we really can
Yeah.
do. You know what I mean? So I think, man, Stankonia. iconic album cover, by the way. I've seen so many mixtapes try to
Uh,
steal that cover, dog. It's
yo, it
crazy.
is one of the most fire covers ever created in hip
Easy.
hop, yo. And
Yeah.
it is just a hip hop staple. Like whenever I see that image, I got a sweatshirt with that image on it. Like it's
Oh,
just a
that's
fire cover.
fire. That's fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hard album cover. And like I said, to me it's their album that was able to really take them to the next level. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And and like I said, deservingly so, because there's some songs on here that are just classic. Like when you talk about
Classic.
Miss Jackson, like these
Oh,
are
yeah.
some of them their most like the songs that they're most known for are
Yeah.
on this project. You know what I mean? And the only reason why I put this above the Love Below for myself is just because Love Below is really like two solo projects.
Yeah, it
You
is.
know what I
It is.
mean? This is like Outcasts. Like when I think of Outcasts, I think of Stankonia. Like I think of like I said, like I said, it might not be my favorite one because I really love AT Aliens. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I would say it's my favorite, but it's
Mm.
definitely like I said, to me it's the most polished and it really gives you a feel of what they sound like together.
Exactly. Yeah. That's valid. That's a good point, though. That's a good point. I like
Yeah,
the
like
duality
to
of Speaker Box Love Below, but as far as like the
yeah.
Outcast project, though, I hear you. 100.
Yeah, because to me, when I look at Speak About Love Below, that's like it's a fire Big Boy project and a fire Andre 3000 project.
Yeah.
They're very different. To me, I mean, they're both amazing. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And to me, and that's the highest, if I'm not mistaken, that's still the highest selling album of all time.
Hip hop
A
album.
hip hop album of all time.
Yeah, man. As
Last time I
deservingly
checked,
so.
last time I checked, it was Speak About Love Below was still the highest selling hip hop album of all time. And
Insane.
I would imagine that hasn't changed.
I can't see it, bro, because there was just too many hits on there, bro, to compete with it, especially in a time where music consumption and sales like actually equated to an extent, right? Like piracy and streaming and everything else kind of
Right.
happened afterwards. So yeah, I can't imagine someone toppling this as far as physical copies being sold.
Oh yeah, no way.
I can't
And
see
this
it.
was yeah, and we talking '03, so we talking straight like majority physical sales, and yeah, you're not. That's why it's honestly strange for, and I honestly just don't agree with it when I hear people compare their numbers now to artists back then. I'm just like, just knock it off. Like
It's not.
you going platinum today is not the same as you going platinum back then. I don't care how they try to quantify these numbers. Having a million people get out of bed and get in a car to go and buy a physical CD of yours is not the same as somebody clicking a button on their phone. You know what I mean? It's you're not gonna be able to quantify that, and then not even to get into bots and all of that. That's a whole nother thing. But like
Yep.
in streaming farms, but just off, even if they were all pure, it's still not the same.
It's not the same, bro. Like this, oh my God. I miss this era of music so much, bro. Now I'm starting to sound like my uncle. Listen now.
Yeah,
I don't care, man. I get it, bro. Like I get it. It was just a
you-
different time in music. Like
but
we enjoyed music different. Yeah.
having a physical, man, I'm glad physicals are coming back, bro. And
Yeah.
that's why I take my students in my hip hop class to a record store for a field trip every year. And I
Yeah.
do that because it's like it's a different feeling when you're actually when you have music in your hands and you're like reading through the credits on the back and you're what I mean, looking at the cover art more closely and you're what I mean, it's just a different feeling that you just digital just has not been able to recreate or what I
It
mean, or
has
capture that feeling.
it hasn't, man. I went to VinylCon this past weekend, which is a dope annual
Nice.
event that happens at the 23rd Armory. It's like near Filler Club, whatever, right?
Ah, okay.
Right across from it. And dog, like seeing the joy in people and even within myself, like going through like these boxes, these storage containers with all this amazing music. Some will draw you in because of the cover, others will introduce or reintroduce you to music maybe you've never heard before from an artist that's name you recognize or face you've seen. You know what I mean? Like that
Hmm.
discovery element is also what's missing, I feel like too.
Yeah.
You can get that digitally, of course, right? Probably some could argue even wider variety, but I would say like just go to a store, to go to a vinyl shop or like a vinyl festival or con, like and do that is just yeah, man. It's the best feeling in the world for true music fans or just people
Yes.
that appreciate physical media because of the digitization of like so much these days, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's I think it puts the value back on the music. I think there was a different value on it when you had to go to the store and buy it. I'm sorry. That value not being placed on music when you're just paying a subscription fee for every song that's in the world. I just think it's
Yeah.
not. It's just completely different dynamic. So shout out to the artists who are now putting out physical media again, man. I love it. I want to see more artists, especially independent artists who are putting out vinyls, who putting out CDs. Shout out Chance the Rapper, who I just saw he put out a vinyl for his project.
Fire.
I think it's dope, man. Get back to selling that physical media, man. People still want media in their hands. I know I do. I'm still a vinyl dude, so
Yeah, I'm a vinyl dude. Now I need y'all to stop charging me $100 for some stuff I can Amazon though. That's my only request.
Man, look,
Only request,
look, man. Let me tell you, these vinyl prices have gotten out of hand.
bro. Bro, like sneakers, bro. It's like the sneaker sellers now, bro. Like that's where we getting to, dang near, man. Crazy.
Yeah, man. That upsell is crazy.
Uh,
It's getting ridiculous, and that's why like even how much new vinyls cost. Like when I took them to the record store, I had to tell them like I was like, I will buy y'all used vinyl. I had to
yeah,
let the students know used. Don't you pull
use.
up this new Kendrick Lamar album that they want $50 for? Absolutely not. I,
Absolutely not. No, I'll take the used joint. I'll take the used joint every time.
yeah,
That's
not
why,
not not
yeah.
as I ain't buying that for 20 students. We ain't doing this ain't that type of class. So, you know what I
Nah, man, nah. That's why in a vinyl store, I'll go to the $5 section in a rack, bro. 100%. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
but I like that they bring in and most artists who I see do it charge a little bit less. Like I like a lot of newer artists who are selling their vinyls on their own websites. It'll be like $30-$40, which I think
Yeah,
is
which is reasonable. Like
which
that's
is
reasonable for
reasonable.
a vinyl, especially a newer album. That's
Yeah,
reasonable
yeah,
for
that's
sure.
reasonable. But when I start seeing 50, 60, I'm like, wait a minute.
Nah, bro.
Yeah, nah, bro.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, nah, y'all pushing it.
For
Yeah,
sure.
y'all pushing it. All right, man. But dope, man. Yo, shout out Outkast. Shout out Stankonia, classic project, man. Honestly, if you've never heard Outkast before, Stankonia is the album I would point you towards. What would you point somebody towards if they have never heard Outkast and wanted to get a feel for what they sound like?
I would say, yeah, I would say Stankonia is the safest bet only because like that music is aged really well. I would point them
Hmm.
like if it were quality, if it were my personal choice, AT Aliens. But I think
Yeah,
like that sound is a little bit unpolished. It's just older. It's just a different era. But Stankonia has like a lot of it's just aged better. Has a lot of relevance today as well. A lot of these
yeah,
songs, a lot of those hits sound like hits now, to be honest. So I would put them in that direction.
absolutely.
Uh,
Yeah, Stankonia aged really well. I agree. I think that if you're somebody who is a fan of 90s hip hop and like more grimier hip hop, then
yeah.
yeah, I will point you towards AT Aliens
Mhm.
or any of their prior projects, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I would probably point somebody towards AT Aliens if they're a if you're really really into 90s hip hop.
If
But
you
if you're
like that
not,
nostalgia. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, but if you're somebody who only likes more modern styled hip hop, then yeah, Stankonia for sure.
That's a safe bet. That's a safe bet. If you a weirdo who likes in like an assortment of different genres, speaker box love below, man. I'll
Oh, for sure, for sure,
every
man.
time, bro. Especially if you want to see like how your favorite artists now were influenced from that project, especially.
Oh, 100%. Because I don't know if there's a lot of projects, if you don't get especially Love Below, if
Yeah.
you don't get Love Below, there's a lot of, I don't know if we get 808 and Heartbreak. I don't know if we
No,
get a lot. There's a lot of hip hop that I don't think we get um, without Andre 3000 making that project.
100%. I don't think we forget
I
Pratt.
don't, e- I
Yeah.
don't think we get a Tyler the Creator, period, to
Yeah,
be
that's what I was about to
honest.
say. Like, I don't think we get Kid Cudi. I don't think we get a Tyler.
No.
I don't think we get a Ye in the form that we got a Ye, to be honest, or a Drake.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
so,
We definitely
oh.
getting Drake. Yeah, no.
Nah, so yeah, man. Like, that's how influential that album was. And to Big Boy's credit, he slept on a lot. Speaker Box is one of his
Facts.
better moments that I've heard him. I haven't heard Big Boy's like solo works as extensively though, but
Yeah.
like that's like top tier Big Boy. He influenced a lot
Oh no,
of
he's rap.
artists
He
too.
rapping on there too. He
Crazy. He
rapping
going
on.
crazy, bro.
Yeah, his rapping is a lead on there, and the production on that one
It's
on speaker boxes
stupid. Oh
is
my God.
yeah, yeah, man. Y'all probably have heard certain songs on there that are still like mega hits, like "The Way
Yeah.
You Move" and
Yeah.
like, but there is heat. There's heat on Speaker Box too. That's about to say
Man,
to me, that's two dope solo projects. You know what I mean? That
yeah.
work and they are cohesive still somehow. So
Somehow it worked. I know Ray Shremmer tried to do three albums instead of they tried to do solo albums and then do a Ray Shremmer album on one album. Not to say it didn't work at all, but it didn't work though. So, but
yeah,
that's
and
Outkast
you
influence though. They tried.
that's out. They actually that absolutely try. And man, I'm gonna be honest, man. Yo, I want to see Ray Sherman win, man. I ain't gonna. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like them. I like that era of music.
I love that era, bro. No flex. It's zone. You feel me? Like that was
Yo,
a time, bro.
I ain't got no
Fun.
type.
Man. Black Beatles, bro. They got hits, bro.
I got hits, bro. Yeah, man. But yeah, man. Shout out Outkast. Let's hop over. Where you want to go next, man?
Man, let's do man. Do you
What
want
we,
to do
what,
the NLE Chopper joint?
I mean, we don't really have to. For those who do not know, we could do
Yeah.
it very briefly. We could briefly touch
Yeah.
on it. NLE Chopper put out some diss records, aimed at NBA YoungBoy. Um, I will say that the first one he put out, the song is very catchy, and he's making a lot of references to NBA YoungBoy being like the devil. It's very,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That seems like the theme of it, if I'm not mistaken. The theme of it kind of seems, I guess, NLE Chopper's more on a spiritual journey,
Mm,
and he's using this moment to kind of highlight how dangerous he believes NBA YoungBoy is to the culture.
mm,
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I ain't gonna sit up here on this podcast and lie. I ain't never listened to NBA YoungBoy enough to know if his music is dangerous or not.
mm.
I've probably heard a total of two NBA YoungBoy songs, and it wasn't on purpose. I heard them because he was on a Kevin Gates album,
Okay.
and they just happened to be on my gym playlist. I've never really sought out to listen to NBA YoungBoy's music, so I'm behind on that. So I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know much about him.
Hmm.
I haven't listened to either one of their catalogs extensively, NLE Chopper or NBA YoungBoy. So,
I've
what are your
tried.
thoughts?
I've tried, man. I'm just not a fan of any of them musically, or the things that they put out into the world as far as like media goes, right?
Yeah,
So I'm probably not the most qualified to speak on this, admittedly, but
yeah.
I
But the track
tried,
is
man.
named. Yeah, the NLE Chopper diss record is called KO.
Yeah,
It's him rapping over "Hit 'Em Up," which is very risky because "Hit 'Em Up" is one of
yeah,
those ones.
yeah.
And the video is crazy. The video is him dancing like Michael Jackson. The video and song
Make no sense.
make no sense together to me at all, but it's entertaining. If you want to watch the video, watch it because it's entertaining.
Well directed and choreographed. Like
Absolutely, very,
cinematography is
very.
really good.
And how far he went with the costuming and the design and the dancers it's a whole thing. You know what I mean? What it has to do with the actual disc record, I have no idea. I just have no idea. I was trying to find a correlation between Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson,
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali, and this uh
So
I,
how old is
and
NLE Chopper,
dissing
man? This tells me everything.
early 20s, I think. I think he
You
in
got to
his
be like
20s.
20. Okay, he's 23. Okay, he was born in 2002. The album that we just talked about is older than him, right? Okay, cool.
Correct. Yeah.
I think he's in a space, and I'm talking about like the as far as the musical direction and like the video and how they make no sense together at all, right?
Hmm.
I think he's a person, and based on interviews, I saw him with the I actually love this interview series that Kirk Franklin has. What is it called? I'm forgetting what
Hmm.
it's called, like the Kings or something like that.
Yeah.
And he really dives into manhood and just everything else, like family, being, fatherhood and all that other stuff. And I think it's dope. And Ali Chopper was featured on it recently. And he seems to be someone who's real read, explorative, and he seems really
Nice. Good.
intelligent, man, which is dope. I think when you're in this space, especially as you're transforming musically and artistically, you find yourself pulling from a lot of things, right? And I think this video is a prime example. You are dissing a contemporary of yours, an NBA young boy, who actually I believe dissed him first. Okay, so
Oh, okay.
I see why he made the song. I just don't understand like the music video connections to it. You know what I mean? But the song is catchy to your point.
Very catchy.
Um, I think NBA YoungBoy himself, young too, also has gone through a lot in life, and so that's reflected in the music, right? I do like his sound though, like as far as features go. I do think he is talented. I just
Who?
think like
Which one?
NBA
Which one are you talking about?
YoungBoy,
Oh yeah,
actually.
I think from the stuff I've heard from both of them, I think
Yeah,
both of them are talented. I
yeah.
think I would say I think NLE Choppa is lyrically better.
Okay, yeah,
I could
that's
tell like when
fair.
I listen to NLE Choppa, I can tell he can really rap.
He can rap. He can
Like
rap, bro.
I could tell he is can lyrically rap well. And then
Yeah.
when I hear NBA YoungBoy, I hear that unique New Orleans sound.
That sound, that
Um,
voice, that
that voice,
cadence.
it's the voice, and yeah, yeah, yeah. So I gotta say, I get why they're both appealing. For me personally, I haven't necessarily gravitated to a lot of it. We've reviewed one of NLE Chopper's recent
We
songs
did,
on the
man.
podcast. So we see he's going towards more of a I'm not gonna say cleaner image, but like you could tell he's trying to become more of a conscious type of artist. You know
100%.
what I mean?
I agree.
Which I'm always gonna be with. So you know what I mean? I'm
Uh,
always in support of that. So we'll see how this back and forth develops. Hopefully it gets a little better.
Hopefully it gets
Uh,
better, man.
but
Yeah.
let's dance some more bars. You feel me?
Yes, and no violence, bro. I don't want to see no violence to stir from this.
Not at all,
I
man.
like a clean exchange of diss records, man. So hopefully we keep it that way. But for the sake, I mean, bro was talking crazy. NLE Choppa crazy in this song, bro. A lot of things is pulling, especially when it comes to comparing one artist to the devil and whatnot. But
And
yeah,
saying that he
hopefully
basically leading his followers to hell. That's what I'm saying. He
yeah, and that's what I meant.
yeah.
That's why I brought up the Kirk Franklin thing because he was talking about his spiritual, you know what I mean, journey. I
Hmm.
think when you put that on people, I think that could be a little sticky, right? But yeah, hopefully NBA YoungBoy responds is something that really stands out, and hopefully we keep it just music, man. So I look forward to it with caution. You know what I'm
Hey, that's true.
saying?
That's true. I did look forward to records, only records. You
Only
know what I mean?
records and not for people to like rack up the criminal record or anything like that. I don't want to see that, man. I don't want to see that. These two talented artists, man, and you can tell they got a lot of potential too. They got a lot of potential. So yeah,
That metaphor is crazy.
yeah,
Oh,
I'm
that's
not proud
funny.
of that. But
Oh,
anyway, yeah.
that's crazy.
uh,
Oh, all right. We got man, let's go ahead and get into this Kodak Black album review, man. For
yeah.
those who do not know, Kodak Black recently released an album called Just Getting Started. Um, on first listen, I'm gonna be honest. As I first entered this project, I went into it was like, oh, this sounds good. Now, me personally, I'd like to hear your take on Kodak Black as an artist. For me, Kodak Black to me, he has a very unique sound, and I think that when I hear him on records, it either I love it or I hate it. There's not any in between.
Mm,
When I
mm.
hear Kodak Black music, it's either like I think this is fire or I think it is complete trash. I've never been in between with Kodak Black music. It's either I rock with it heavy, like when I heard him on I Can't Even Roll in Peace. Everybody noticed me. That was one of my first introductions to him with
Hard.
that song, and I was like, and no flocking. Them was some of my first times. When I heard those, I was like, okay, I
Yeah.
get this. This is like a different sound. Um, so that's kind of where I fall with that. What are your thoughts on Kodak Black as an artist before we even get into the project?
I agree, bro. He's kind of polarizing in a sense. I'm not even talking about the outside of stuff. I'm just talking straight music because that's a
Yeah,
whole
I'm only trying to keep it music. If
conversation.
I talk about the
Yeah,
other stuff,
yeah, yeah. So as far as music goes,
clownery.
for sure. But as far as music goes, bro, he's talented. He can actually rap. And I'll tell you the album that did it. Dying to Live. I encourage anybody who
Hmm.
has not listened to Dying to Live. Came out in
Yeah, it's
2018, so
impressive.
it was a while ago. That's where you find, I feel, Kodak at his best, his most actually
Yeah.
surprisingly conscious. There's a lot of conscious songs in that where he's talking about the way he grew up and how he was kind of like influenced by negative things and he's trying to like grow from those moments,
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
So I love Kodak
That
when
was
he's
the first time I
actually
listened
doing
to
it.
a full project of his. Was that project?
Yeah. And so when Kodak is doing that, he not only shows you that he's capable of doing it, but he can do it well. That's my favorite kind of Kodak. Of course,
Yeah.
like the no flocking Kodak, rolling peas, like Kodak is dope too. So in the Zaza Kodak I like too, but then there's certain songs where he sounds overly sluggish and just he's trying to
It,
talk about
it,
romance and is
it goes,
misogynistic as hell. Like,
yeah, and it go into full mumble mouth nonsense. You know what I
you
mean?
know what
Now
I mean? Yeah.
it goes into full mush mouth nonsense at times. You know what I
Facts.
mean? Full
Facts.
blown, like no, Like that. So that's why I say it's either I love it or I hate it. Either I'm like, oh, this is fire, or I'm like, bro, what is he doing on this
A
song? This
hundred
is,
percent. A
and
hundred.
sometimes on feature it's terrible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes when I hear him on other people's songs, I'm like, this is, yeah. Like, why did you clear this,
What's
sir?
one of your favorite features of Kodak? I got one for sure.
I don't have many favorite features. I don't really
Mm.
like him as a feature artist. I'm gonna be honest.
I like him. This Kendrick Lamar's Silent Hill off of
Yeah, I didn't like it. I
you
don't like
didn't
it.
like that at all? My boy pulled out a thesaurus dictionary and was just working. Like he was trying to figure out how he could upstage my man's. And he tried. He tried,
Uh,
bro. That's one of my favorite Kodak moments because I can tell that he cared. He knew who he was in the studio with or doing a song with, man. But
I
yeah.
don't really like that song in general though.
You don't
So
like Silent Hill? That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
yeah, that's one of my least favorite on that project. Shockingly,
Wow, Mr. Morale.
yeah. And I
Yeah.
really love Mr. Morale, but that song I was like, mm-mm. Them two together didn't work well to me. I just was like, I wasn't feeling it. I would
Man.
so
Yeah.
so to jump into this project, man. So it started off on a high note for me.
Hmm.
We got to, and I almost don't want to start positive with this because my negatives are so negative that I probably should start there. But all right, when it started off, I was like, man, this is good. Like, still get Chanel with Chance the Rapper. I thought was dope. I thought Chance really performed well on that. I typically am not the biggest fan of the tricking songs, but
Yeah.
this one was one of the good ones. Like, I really
Hmm.
enjoyed that track. Shockingly enough, I didn't really like the Pharrell song. When I
Wow.
saw Pharrell on
Wow.
here, I thought I would like that song more than I did.
Mhm.
Wasn't the biggest fan of that one, but I really liked. I thought "Endless Nights with Gunna" was catchy.
Really
My
good.
favorite song on here that I feel like is a certified hit. I'm not gonna lie to you. "Calculator Step in It" is fire. I'm gonna be
Hmm.
honest. I played that. It's hard. That's probably to me when I listen to this project the one that has the most potential of being a hit.
100%.
Um, fire record. Then
Oh man.
it took a turn for the worse, and I'm gonna say this with full confidence. "Prison Deform" is one of the most ignorant songs I've ever heard in my life.
Ignorant.
Ignorant. You're right. It's not ignorant. You know what I mean? This is ignorant. You
Ignorant.
know what I mean? It
Hmm.
is one of the most off, just off,
It's
just
totally off.
completely culturally off, realistically off, just off. You know what I mean? And I get what he was trying to do. I get that, he got pardoned by Trump, but look, just because somebody does something good for you does not make them a good person, sir.
100%.
And this is the wrong, I mean, read the room. Like,
Come
bro,
on,
like
bro.
what are we doing? And then he does which is what I hear a lot of other people do is regurgitate things that they've heard online to be true.
Yep.
I'm gonna give you a prime example. Um, Saying that Trump has pardoned more people than Obama is not factually true.
It's not true at
And
all.
and a Google search would have told you that. All it would have took was a Google search, you sir, and it's the same thing that I just did right here. President Barack Obama pardoned, commuted, or rescinded the convictions of 1,927 people, and that's 212 full pardons. And a lot of those people who were commuted were
Mhm.
for sentences for drug distribution specifically, a lot of which were people of color, right? All together, from people pardoned, commuted, and rescinded, rescinded convictions from Trump's first term, 237.
Mm. Mm.
1,927 versus 237. I'm just, and this is just Google. I'm not pulling out
Feel
any,
me?
you know what I mean? This is not, I didn't have to go to no journal articles, read any peer review research to find this out. All right. So to me, it's just an ignorant song, bro. And I see what he was trying to do. You know your song is bad when you got to talk for 5 minutes after your song to try to explain the
Exactly.
song. And that's what he did here. After the song, he then has talks for 5 to 6 minutes to try to plead his case for why he made the song. Um, I get what he was trying to do. He was trying to shine a light on people who he think didn't look out for him when he was incarcerated and people who he felt like should have rallied behind him. That part I'm cool with. You know what I mean? If you want to challenge Meek Mill, Jay-Z, all of them, because you think that they should have rolled for you, um, going to federal prison for what he went for. And I haven't done big research on what he went for, but it does seem like he was over sentenced in that way.
Mm.
Um, so him doing uh him speaking on that, cool. But like the other stuff, bro, like talking about I'm disgraced by my people, and then you bigging up Trump on the song, it's nasty work.
Nasty.
It's nasty timing. And you know what I mean? I don't know if this was a part of your requirements for you to get out, you know what I mean? But yeah.
Yeah, bro. This is one of those songs.
After that, after this I turned the album off.
Yo, it's actually crazy because I did the exact same thing. I'm not even trying like no BS. Like I literally stopped playing the record after Prison Deformed because of that messaging, bro. And for me, that honestly put a stain on the entire project for me. I hate to
Absolutely.
say it, but it
And
did.
it was going in such a good direction. You
It
know what I
was.
mean?
It was. I liked a number of songs before we got to this point in the album. And there's like what, five songs afterwards. I'm like, I'm cool. What I'll say before I get into Prison Deformed specifically, is I do like the intro, Project Blue. I do like when
I
Kodak
also
is
like the
really
intro.
diving into stuff like that, bro, because his background, like many of our backgrounds, influenced who we became, whether in that same direction or we veered off and went another direction, right? So I love when he's really diving into his background and talking about the ways in which he grew up and how he's learned from those experiences. Still got Get Chanel, fire. I think Chance bodied him on this record, bro. Like I would have
Oh,
preferred Chance
of
on
course.
this by himself, to be honest. But
Absolutely.
it's still a good record. It's still a fun record, man. I'm not for the tricking records either, but if it sounds like this, I'll play it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Will not act on it, but I will play it. Okay. No
It didn't
flag,
make you want to go buy some Chanel, bro?
no. But mumble rap I actually like. I actually like Pharrell on here, man. Like when Pharrell does a hooks or bridges and he's like talking like this, I like it. I didn't like him on clips where he was like doing singy songy. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think we're past that era of me favoring that kind of Pharrell contribution personally, even though he's an absolute legend and we all know that, right?
Yeah.
All Black Rolex, I like. It's fun. The record with
It's
Gunna is also solid, man.
yeah.
Strip club anthems, I'm with, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So really, really living. Like that was kind of I like what he was
Nah,
doing with that.
nah, I see where he was going with that one too.
I like it, man. And then who you seeing tonight with Don Toliver, bro? I'm a big Don Toliver fan.
That one is also hard. I forgot to mention that one. That one is fire.
It's hard, bro. So I've among all these songs, I've been playing that one the most, just going back to it because it's just fire. Um, then we get to Prison Deformed, bro. A couple songs in Calculated Stepping, you mentioned Jungle Fever, I'm cool on.
Yeah,
But
I'm cool
Prison
on that one.
Deformed pretty much stopped me in my tracks because it's such an ignorant message, especially given the state of the country that we're in. Like we're in the midst of a government shutdown. SNAP benefits have been xed out by this very man that he's honoring in this record, essentially
And,
for doing a good deed for him individually while stripping away the rights and benefits and the economic opportunity for millions of Americans, especially those of color. So just poor timing. It's a bad should have been left in the drafts. I'd rather him not have recorded this at all. But since he did, put that in the delete file, brother.
leave that in your phone. That should have never made it past your iPhone, sir. You know what I mean? And that lets me know the people around him ain't or don't have his best interest because it's just like, bro, where are we? What are we going? And then not even to speak on that, like
Yeah.
on his music, he sounds like such a like very proud of his Haitian heritage, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Very much so on his music.
Mhm.
Like that's not even a get into the things that he said about Haitians.
Oh my God, that was so terrible,
We
bro.
haven't even gotten to him calling, it a ish whole country
Yep.
and him that's not even to get into him putting out the rhetoric that everybody's just over there running around eating cats and eating dogs. That would like we ain't even getting into what he said about Haitians.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But even what he's doing currently, the current state of, from the removal of Black history to
Mm.
putting back up Confederate statues, like
Yep.
all like this just is poor time and poor taste. And the crazy thing is the fact that there are people online who think that this is deep.
Hmm. The
It lets
internet
me
can't be
know.
real, bro. It can't be real. It can't be
People don't
real.
read,
It is.
man, and
They
I think
don't
that this is the bigger
read, bro. They don't
problem.
read, man. And that pisses me
Yo,
off, bro.
that's why I'm such a big advocate for literacy and people educating themselves and reading, bro. We have to go back to reading, bro. Get off Instagram. Like get off
Please.
Instagram, get off TikTok, bro, and open a book, please. Please, please.
Please. And if you do open ours, it's Raps of Resistance. It's coming out. It's available for pre-order. Release May 14th, 2026. Go ahead and buy that. But yeah,
That boy good. That boy good.
but no, absolutely, bro. It's because like artists like these have influenced, unfortunately, a lot of young minds who are less inclined to open a book, but more inclined to open an Instagram app. You know what I mean? So yeah,
100%.
this is proof. He is the living embodiment of the ignorance that we often see in America, especially, I'd say it, like Trump supporters that happen to be black. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah,
hate to
man.
say it. It's true.
Nah, it's a fact. It's a fact. So, like I said, that ruined the whole project. But if you remove that song from this project, solid project.
Solid project, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
unfortunate.
unfortunately. Kodak makes good music, bro.
Yeah,
His
he has a really
messaging can
unique sound
he does. His messaging can be all over the place sometimes.
for
Sometimes he's
sure.
on his conscious, sometimes he on his ignorant. It's a duality I often like, but I think this song in particular is just a step too far. I think it's a step too far for me. But
It's beyond a step too far, bro.
yeah.
It's like I said, I don't know. I'm wondering. I'm like, was this a part of your? Was this a favor that you owe, or if you, maybe not. I don't know. But the fact that you had to spend 6 minutes after the song explaining the song, because like I said, there is a solid, I want to say 5 to 6 minutes on this song of
Yeah.
him just explaining and pleading his case for this. So this song is 9 minutes long. The
Yes.
actual song itself is probably like three.
Yeah.
The rest of the
Yeah.
6 minutes is him just talking and then pleading his case for why he made the song.
If you plead the case that long and it's two times over the length of the actual music, probably shouldn't release it, dog. Probably shouldn't release it, dog.
It's probably not doing what you think it's doing. You know what
Nah.
I mean? You
Safe
know
to
what I mean?
say.
Because music can speak for itself. Music doesn't need any it don't need you to cop please right after the song.
Not at all, bro. Not at
You know what I
all.
mean? So yeah, man, good project, bad song. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's how I would summarize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, ridiculous. Yeah. But on another note, man, Big L.
Big L, Harlem's Finest, Return of the King, this posthumous record that dropped on Halloween night, man. I'm curious, bro. What do you think of? We talked about Big L as an artist, as an iconic staple, especially within East Coast rap. How do you feel about Big L, and how did you feel about this album when you first heard it?
Absolutely, man. To me, Big L is a lyrical lyrical prodigy of sorts. I think that
I agree.
extremely influential, especially for that time period that he came out with. Him coming out in the '90s. I think that there was a lot of people who gravitated to his style because it was so unique and different. I
Mm,
think the way he rapped, the way he put together metaphors, the way his flow, his cadence,
mhm,
all of that was extremely polished and advanced for the time that it came out. And I think
for
that
sure.
without Big L, there's a lot of artists that you don't get. And I would say the most notable one who I think completely, I don't want to say hijacked because I don't necessarily know that it was out of because that has a negative connotation for it. So I'm gonna say like what I mean was inspired by or influenced by Big L sound directly was Eminem. Like if you listen to Eminem's early project, he sounds like he's doing a
Mm.
Big L impersonation.
Wow. Yeah.
Like very, very similar. Like from the more shocking metaphors
Yeah.
in bars that are like attention grabbing to the cadence, all of that is very, very similar. And I think Big L, man, was just ahead of his time, man. It was dope to hear a project of some unreleased stuff, some stuff that was just repurposed and cleaned up. Thankfully, they were able to clean up some of his freestyles that people love, who people have been watching it on YouTube forever. Now they
Yeah.
have a way to listen to it in audio form. I think is dope. So I think that a lot of this is just stuff that I had heard before, but they've just repurposed and polished some of his freestyles. And I think it's dope that they put it on a project together, man. To me, the biggest standout on here is How Will I Make It is just a
Mm,
dope record. And
yeah.
I'm probably going to use that in some of my classes now. Just to talk of his introspectiveness on desperation
Yeah.
and just feeling like there's no, he was just dealt a bad hand of cards and because of that he's just, it almost reminds me of G Dep has a song called um Every Day. And
Mm,
this song kind of reminds me of that, of just talking about being at the lowest point where you don't really see, any light at the end of the tunnel. Um, and yeah, you just dealt a bad deck of cards and just a bunch of unfortunate events. And I think that song does a great job of that. And I think it's just a dope record. So How Will I Make It is definitely a standout on here for me. I like the intro. There's a few different records on here I like. And like I said, a lot of them are freestyle that have just been cleaned up.
yeah.
It sounds like they've used AI to clean up some of the audio and make it clearer. So I think it's dope, man. I just think it's dope for people to have some of this stuff in an audio project that they can go back to for Big L. Because sometimes because Big L passed so long ago in '99, I believe, a lot of times these artists who didn't have a bunch of hit projects under a label, I think that they kind of get forgotten about. So I like the fact that they're not letting that happen to Big L. So yeah,
Yeah.
and also like the Grant's Tomb with Joey Badass, I thought was fire.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, all in all, man, it was good to hear. It was good to hear Big L rapping. But like I said, one of the most influential technical rappers of his time for sure.
For sure. I agree with everything you said 100%. And it was actually interesting throughout this. Obviously, it's repurposed music, older freestyles that have been cleaned up, as you said. One of my favorite moments on here is 7 Minute Freestyle with Hove.
Oh, you already know.
Um, I even like
Classic.
Forever with Mac Miller and Pale J, man. I like how some of these artists have also posthumous, right? And Mac Miller have also like contributed or were implemented into this project, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, you ain't got a chance with Nas. Like I really love the verses on those. I love the music throughout this project. Some of these are a little bit, I don't know, like
They dated.
dated,
Yeah,
and
for
I
sure.
get it, right? It encapsulates an era in time. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily meant to be looked at as a traditional album, right? It's just like a
Right.
really a showcasing or capsule of what Big L was and what he represented. What other moment really stands out to me, man? I
I can
like
tell you,
how will I make it as well, and the bonus, put the mic down. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh, fire. Yeah, that one
Fire.
was fire. Yeah. I like that one too, man. I'm gonna tell you one of the letdowns on here.
Mm.
When I looked at Doo Wop Freestyle 99 and I saw that it was featuring Joe Budden, I'm gonna be honest. I was
Yeah,
like, they never got Joe Budden back out here rapping. Like Joe Budden, I don't know. I feel like it's probably been it might be a decade since Joe Budden has released any
yeah,
music rapping.
yeah. Rage in the
Close to
Machine or
it.
something like 2015 or something. I think that was like
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah,
Yeah, he hasn't put out anything in I would say at least 6 or 7 years, at least.
yeah.
And so I saw Doo Wop Freestyle featuring Joe Budden and just knew that there were some bars there and clicked on it and it is just him talking. I was like, bro, this is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
What he does best, I guess. Yapping.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I was like, man, I just knew I was about to hear some Joe Budden bars on a Big L project. I was like, oh, this is gonna be hard. Nah.
Yo, what I did love to see though is there was some excerpts, some I think like rehashings of other people speaking. There was Sasha Jenkins, who is a
Mhm.
legendary pioneer within hip hop journalism, man. So who actually passed away a few years ago or fairly
Mm,
recently. I actually think it was earlier this year. And he did a lot of work for alongside Elliot Wilson and like all these
okay.
other influential hip hop journalists, man. Born in DC, I think he spent some time in Philly before going to New York. He's known for a lot of documentaries within the genre and culture as well. So that was cool to see, man.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, yeah,
Dope, dope, man. Yeah, man. So shout out to Big L's estate for helping put this together. Shout out Nas. Shout out Mass Appeal. Mass
yeah,
Appeal is on the run, man. What Mass Appeal is doing for hip hop is unmatched, man. It's dope.
a hundred
Um,
percent.
Nowadays, if I see a Mass Appeal release, I'm just clicking it, bro. Like y'all, they
Yeah.
have not missed yet. So
Yeah, they holding it
Yeah.
down, man. They're holding it down for sure.
Shout out Nas, shout out Mass Appeal. Dope, dope. And like I said, for those who are not familiar with Big L, I definitely highly recommend going and watching some of his freestyles, visit this project, check out some of his stuff. And you'll hear when you listen to him, you'll hear a lot of other artists in the way that he raps.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, man. What up? We got anything else on the docket?
Not on the document, man, but we got hidden hits. Hidden hits.
Hidden hits, bro. For those who do not know, hidden hits is our segment where we talk about and highlight some songs that should have been hits that were not hits. Some songs that we felt like needed some more attention, old and new. All right. So let's get into it, man. Hidden hits. Yeah, I got one for our next segment. I'm gonna say this one for there, but uh, one song that I'm gonna go with is La Russell King Kong.
Mm,
Fire record featured produced by Hit Boy. Definitely a song that I felt like should have been a hit that wasn't necessarily a traditional hit.
mm-hmm.
Fire record. Fire record. That's one that I want to put on there. Another one, man. Lil Baby and G Herbo have a new song called All on Me that I really,
Okay.
really rock with heavy. I'm
Uh,
definitely gonna go with that one, man. Lil Baby is rapping like old Lil Baby. It's the type of Lil Baby records that I really like of him being a little bit more introspective and talking about his life, and I think it's dope. They rap over that Seeing Green sample, whatever
okay.
that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely a hard record. So I definitely would recommend All on Me, Lil Baby, G Herbo. G Herbo verse on there is also hard. Um, Definitely one that I would recommend. Let me see if there's anything else I want to throw into the mix. Those are the main ones that I've really been going back to as of late. I also want to throw a little Pac in there. For those who do not know, I'm probably one of the biggest Pac fans. Breathing Pac to me is just yeah, what Pac means to hip hop and music and even just black culture at this point. I
Yeah.
think is unmatched, man. So I want to throw a Pac record in there. I'm gonna do one that people might not be as familiar with. Tupac is off of Tupacalypse Now, a song called Trapped. I
Mm.
want, yeah. So those are my hidden hits. What you got, bro?
Yeah, man. So Wale, I've said on this podcast, I think Wale is one of those unsung musical stars of a certain era, bro, who doesn't get enough credit. And so he has a new album coming out next week. And among those singles, there's a song called City on Fire with the artist named Odio. Now, Wale, I
Mm,
love because of his ability, but also this man has a crazy eye for talent, bro. He really put Brent Faiyaz on, and I think he just found another R&B artist to put on. So I'm gonna listen to Odile because this song
mm,
is like I think it got hit potential, bro. I'm gonna be honest. It's called City on
mm.
Fire.
Okay,
Highly
I'm gonna check it out.
recommend listen to this
Sit.
new Wale joint. Um,
Okay.
and then I gotta give special shout out to Chicago's own No Name. She just released a song with Devin Morrison called 100 Acres, right? And it's really
Okay.
delving into just like what us black people in general have contributed to America, what we're owed and what we deserve,
Hmm.
right? And I love songs like that, especially from an intricate artist, a deep thinker like a No Name, right?
Absolutely.
And then man, yes, a fun record you may hear at the Barbary for all our Philadelphia listeners that integrate hip hop every now and then, not really, but every now and then. And I think this fun record is called "Step Out" by Cadence Weapon, featuring Junior T and Daja SB. I think that's just a fun record. You don't have to really think too much about not nonsense, but like quality party fun record. So yeah, those are my highlights. Yeah.
Oh, hard, hard. All right, I got to check out. You just put me on something, man. All right, I got. I'm looking forward to checking out that 100 Acres record too.
Yeah, it's dope. Dope.
Yeah, definitely gonna check that out. Now it's time for nice nonsense, man.
My favorite category. What you
For
got?
those who for those who do not know, man, nice nonsense is where we highlight some stuff that doesn't necessarily have a lot of redeemable qualities lyric wise, but they're fun to listen to. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so this is where we get to highlight some of those songs that aren't the typical, intricate, records that we talk about a lot on this show. A little ratchet, you know what I mean? Typically.
Nah.
And I'm gonna give you one, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a joint by an artist named Monaleo. My girl actually put me on her.
Mhm.
Apparently she is married to what's the cat who used to rap with the baby, who was under the baby's label.
Oh, I know
Um
who you talking about.
his name is slipping me right now. I apologize. It'll come to me. But
Yeah.
she's married to him, to that artist, and she got a track called "Putting You Down."
Yes, that joint fire. That joint fire.
I ain't gonna lie to you, hard.
Yeah,
I'm
that
not
joint
gonna lie.
hard.
I can't sit up here and lie to you. My girl told me about it, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll check it out. And then that song had came up, and I was like, oh yeah, this is hard.
It's hard.
Um, hard record, man. That's one of those ones that I have to admit, go crazy. So, that's gonna be one of my hidden hits. Let me see if there's another. I mean, not hidden hits. Nice nonsense for sure. Um, and then the other one I would do for nice nonsense would be. I don't know if I had that much nice nonsense, man. I guess I've been listening to all the conscious stuff this week. I
Yeah.
don't know if I got a lot of to contribute for once to this. Let me see. You know what? I'll do a Dave East Jordan. It's really not nonsense, but it's kind of
Mm.
nonsense. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Um, because it's just violence. So Dave East be in his other bag. But I'll go Bottega Trunks featuring Stove God Cooks.
Fire joint. Fire
Yeah,
joint. That's my favorite song off that project. Easy.
yeah,
Easy.
for sure.
I got one,
What you
man.
got?
ASAP Ferg's new song called Polo. Polo is just it's just yo, I'm
Okay.
fresher than you is. Like it's one of them
Uh,
joints, man. Cause
okay.
Polo was big back in the day. People talking all this luxury house brands and all that. Like nobody was wearing LV back in
Mm,
like couple like 10 years ago, like in
And,
the
and,
same
and
extent. Nah.
nah, man. Cause people, number one, couldn't nobody afford it. Like to me, to
Exactly.
me, to me, you got kids now going to prom when Louboutin and Gucci, and that was unheard of, bro. Like
That's ridiculous, bro. Especially in
I would
Philly.
hate.
Yeah.
Philly is big for it.
Bro, they have prom parties, like pre-prom parties, bro. Like
Really?
they'll rent like a Rolls Royce. They got the Louboutins. They got you know what I
That's
mean,
crazy.
the Prada suit and Gucci suit and all that. Yeah, Philly is known
You-
for big pre-prom parties and you know what I mean.
Mm.
Yeah,
But
it's
you know what's
ridiculous.
crazy about that? Prom is not an accomplishment. It's a school dance.
That's it. It's not graduation.
Yeah, like at least do it for graduation. I mean, but to do all of that for a school dance is a little extra.
Dog, I've talked to a mother who spent $10,000 on a pre-prom
Stop it.
party and the
Stop
whole
it.
prom thing.
She spent 10 racks on prom.
She said because like, a lot of, children, this person's age in this environment never make it to 18, never make it to get to this point. I didn't have a
Mm.
prom. My son now has a prom. And we're going to do it up on graduation. We're going to do it up again for college graduation. I said, however you spending your money is how you spend your money.
Hey,
Okay.
if you got it, if you got it, you got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, man. I'm judging, but it's none of my business.
Hey, man, if you got it like that, you do your thing. My kid gonna get a limo. You think
You're right. All right.
you finna get this limo and this tuxedo, sir. You know what I mean? It'll be a fly tux, but you all this Gucci Louis down for a prom is wild.
Crazy. And you can borrow my car if you don't if you don't want to do the limo.
Facts. You're
Yeah.
gonna be right. You're gonna be rolling up in whatever I got for you. And I might not want you to drive my car, depending on how good of a driver you are at 18,
Facts.
17.
Facts. So yeah, it's a little over it. But Polo is a dope song, man. It's
Okay.
fun. It's reminiscent of Ferg of old. So definitely, definitely. Yeah.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, episode 66, man, been another dope one, man. If you do not follow us on social media, man, make sure y'all follow at Rap and Reason on TikTok, Instagram. Make sure that you're subscribed on YouTube, man. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button on YouTube. We highly appreciate it. And leave comments, man. Leave comments on things you want us to discuss, albums you want us to review, new, old, things that y'all want us to cover, and we'll do our best to get to it, man. Until next time, bro.
Peace.